friends. Hope you're doing well. I had a pretty good night tonight. Watched some films. Watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't know if you have seen it or read the books. The casting for it, I think, is absolutely perfect. So, let's back up. Question of the day. Have you either read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or seen the movie or the old British series? So there's your question of the day. If you haven't, it's a really good sci-fi comedy book. Very funny, very good. And there was a movie in 2005 or 6, which has Martin Friedman, Zooey Deschanel, Mos Def, Sam Rockwell, and Alan Rickman as a clinically depressed robot. So it's good. Well, let me back up. It's not that good. I don't know, it's interesting because it's like, I really have a fondness for the book. But the movie kind of falls short because it veers off the book a little bit. I think it could have been better, but I think the casting is perfect. So that said, I think it needs to be done right. I think someone could take it and really make it really well. And I think that person, is going to be Edgar Wright, I think he would knock it out of the park. But if I had unlimited money, I could buy the rights to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and say, I want this, I don't care what it costs. I would put Edgar Wright in charge of writing and directing and adapting it for film, and whoever he wants to help him with. I would put Tom Holland as Arthur Dent. I would put Benedict Cumberbatch as Ford Prefect. I would put Emma Watson as Trillian, and I would put Russell Brand as Zaphoid, with Jack McBrayer as the voice of the computer, and I'm thinking Jake Johnson as the voice of Marvin. That's kind of like my dream cast, I think, if we could get it and we could get a trilogy, because I think there's 5 books, but I think you could make it down into 3 books, 3 movies. I think you could cut this and that and just film them all in one go. Would probably be the way to do it, I would think, because there'd probably be a lot of CGI, although I don't like CGI, and if I'm a billionaire and I can just say, this is what I want to get made, I would probably use like Mandalorian style technology, which, if you're not familiar, the Mandalorian doesn't really shoot on a lot of green screens. What it shoots on is it's kind of like rear projection, but it's actually just like LED screens to do their backgrounds and stuff. So it's really interesting that the actors can react in real time, and the lighting is much better. Tom Cruise had it in one of his films, I don't remember, but more as the technology gets cheaper, more films are moving into that, because you can be a little more realistic with the cameras. It's faster turnaround because you're not spending all this time to get the green, out. And the actors can really react to the world around them, so it's better for them too. So we'd obviously shoot on one of those kind of sets. And I'm a billionaire, so we can build sets, that'll be great. But I think it's such a good book series, I think it could be done better than it was. Because it's not bad, it just kind of falls short. That's kind of what I think. And if I was a billionaire, I would also probably have more hockey movies, obviously. Kevin Smith talks in his book, Tough Shit, which is a really good book if you want a book to read. That's a good one. He talks about a hockey movie that he wants to make called Hit Somebody, which I know nothing about it other than it's Kevin Smith, and it's called Hit Somebody. And if I had $1 billion, I'd write him a check yesterday for it and be like, go make that, sir. How much money do you need? So, I'm trying to think, what else would I would be a film patron of the arts, but only for film. I think I would start a short film competition, which I think would probably be the biggest thing, is I would start a short competition and I would give like $1 million worth of prizes. Because if I'm a billionaire, I could probably make $1 million in like a week with, stock market money. And I would just have, a monthly challenge. I'd be like, okay, this month it's horror movies, and next month it's animation, and and we would get people that were truly talented out making good shorts, because I think short film is so underappreciated. If I was a billionaire, I'd probably start my own Netflix, but for short films. And I would they'd be anthologies. Because those think like what an anthology is. They feel like Black Mirror or American Horror Story, where it's like all the episodes are not necessarily connected, but it all kind of takes place in the same universe. That's an anthology. And so I think if you could establish the rules of the universe and then just let people go run wild. So think like Star Wars, Disney owns Star Wars. Obviously you can't do Star Wars, but think about Star Wars as an example of what could you do in the Star Wars universe that could be really interesting. Think about a Knives Out sort of murder mystery in the Star Wars universe. How exciting would that be? Like Star Wars horror movies. Right? So that's why I think short films are so amazing, is you could try things and it doesn't cost a lot of money. Even if you're going all out Disney, and you got Edgar Wright directing, and you got, Chris Evans starring in it, you could really spend, it still would be how long is Chris Evans going to be on set for a 10-minute short? A day, a weekend, not very long. So I think you could get some really good stuff. And I think people would, because you just think if you spent $1 million per, what is Netflix? I don't know, we're gonna look this up. What does Netflix spend on movies? Probably more than $1 million. What does Netflix spend on movie? I don't know. See if that even comes out. Netflix spent $15.3 billion on video content. So, if you're talking $1 million, that's 15,000 short films they can make. Imagine just the sheer amount of content. 15,000 short films. Obviously, they're not gonna spend their whole budget on it, but if they can make 100 and they're just adding 2 new ones a week, that'd be sweet. Especially if they had a universe or a couple universes. Once a month you get something in the horror universe. You could buy old IP properties, I mean, Disney's kind of been gobbling them up, but think about, I'm trying to think of something good. Disney obviously owns The Simpsons, but imagine Simpsons short films. I guess every episode is kind of a short film. But they're standalone episodes that take place in the universe of a TV show you like. Think about a TV show you really like, and but you could even do a cop drama where the cops could be different. It's just New York City cops. That's just the name of the show. And it could be a comedy or it could be a drama, and the episodes are all 15-20 minutes. It's standalone. You kind of get in, you get out, you just have some interesting moments that take place in the world, and you might have a couple recurring characters. It's just I just love short films. I think more people should appreciate them. And so if you want to get excited about short films, go on Vimeo, Vimeo.com. It's like YouTube, but it was always angled at professionals, which is there's really no audience on there. But a lot of filmmakers will share their films because the quality on Vimeo is slightly better. But I always felt the film's always buffered, so I'm this is stupid. I'd rather watch it at a lower quality and not have it stop the buffer. It's gotten better. But you still have to pay money to have an account, so there's not as much crap on there, but anyway, just go to their staff picks, and on their staff picks you can sort by duration. Just scroll down through a couple pages to get to the 20 to 40 minute. That's I feel that's a good range of where it's good. staff picks is usually like it's quality, if not like just a great thing to watch. I'm trying to think of some really good ones. Hold on one second. Text my girlfriend back. She just got home. I always tell her like, text me when you get home. But let me think. So there's one called Candy Shop. There's one called Turbo. Let me try to think of some other good ones. There's one called Obey the Giant. Just go, actually, if you like graffiti, go on there. Just type in Obey the Giant. It's like 20 minutes long. It's like a narrative retelling of Shepard Fairey's like first big like art piece thing that he did. It's real good. But anyway, that's just my spiel. I think more people should love short films. And you know what? Like, if you have a cell phone, you could be making short films. There's no reason. Go make a short film this weekend. You know, there's 3 days left in the year. Go become a filmmaker if you want to. If you don't want to, then I understand. So, anyway, I'm just gonna call it. Today's gonna be a short one because I have a couple real long ones in mind. I want to, coming up, I want to talk about all the movies I watched this year, which right now, currently I'm at, I thought I had on the screen, I don't. I think I'm at 339 movies for the year, for 2020. And I'm gonna, cross your fingers, I think I'm gonna go for 365, which means the next 3 days is gonna be like 8 or 9 movies a day or something, saying like that. So, wish me luck. But then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you about every single one I watched, which there are some duplicates and triplicates in there, you know. But I'm gonna tell you about how I felt about it every watch. I also want to talk about all the books I read this year. And I read 44 of them. That'll be a lot shorter because I don't like. I don't know. It's not that I don't remember. There's just like so much that you could touch on. So it's probably faster to just blow through it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for finding me. Thanks for sticking through the whole video. Drop a comment if you see an Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. I hope you're doing well. And if not, well, I hope that turns around for you real soon. See you next time. Thanks for watching.